We all have these gifts. We can all master self. It's about having awareness, learning how to harness these gifts and use them for our own creativity, for creating a life that we truly, truly desire. This is solely each of our responsibility. As a Reiki Master, I learned to harness my creativity soulfully through my own inspiration and intuitive gifts. As an expert on self-discovery through human energetics and healing, my self-discovery process is unique and rooted in my background in design innovation, various trainings, and different forms of energy healing, and my own energetic intuitive gifts. As a boundless creator and collaborator, I created this podcast to share the tools and processes I have learned along my own discovery journey, so you can discover your own creative self-expression and learn how to harness your own energetic gifts to lead a creative life. Bringing you insight to the current energies of the community, listen carefully and reflect on how each episode resonates with you. Don't forget to join the Facebook group, the BYH Podcast community. Connect with other creatives inside doing the work, where you can share insights and find support from like-minded creatives like you. Welcome. I'm so happy to be back. I'm Lindsay, your host of the Bring Yourself Home podcast. So excited to be starting this up again. I started this podcast back in January 2020. I was in way over my head with starting a new business. But if you are anything like me, I wanted to do it all. I got extremely burnt out with managing my energy, with managing life, with managing the new business, trying to gain new clients, build a website, figure out marketing, financing. I was trying to figure it all out without losing my creativity. The problem was that I was looking to the future with my eyes only. I was starting to lose track of who I know my truth to be. I wasn't really getting creative at all. Ideas were not coming. Too many ideas were floating around. I couldn't land or focus on anything to get started. I felt extremely stuck. See, when we start to look outside ourselves, we so often get lost in comparison, seeking approval from others, and then we get nowhere. Why does this happen? We forget our wisdom. Here's the thing, our wisdom is always with us. We each uniquely have divine wisdom flowing through us every day, every second, every minute. We just have to learn how to listen. Seeking approval, playing the comparison game, and hoping for clarity from anything other than our own wisdom is that part of you that keeps you small. That part of you who wants to play it safe. That part of you learn to be. That part of you has you confused for someone that you're not. The part of you that does not feel your courage, your strength, or recognize the incredible gifts that you innately hold as your creative superpower. What the heck am I talking about? I'm talking about your ability to transform in any given moment. When you feel stuck, stifled, overwhelmed, burned out, lack of motivation, lose track of your ideas, the key learning to work with is your energy. What you are putting out with your energy is what you will receive. We must not look out for validation. The key is learning how to work with your own energy. To understand your emotions, to understand why you may be reaching out for validation, why you might be viewing outward instead of in. What resistance do you have to looking inward? What resistance do you have to listening to your own wisdom? What questions do you have about your own intuition and your intuitive gifts? Do you doubt that you have these gifts? I'll tell you a secret. We all have these gifts. We can all master self. It's about having awareness, learning how to harness these gifts and use them for our own creativity, for creating a life that we truly, truly desire. This is solely each of our responsibility. As a Reiki Master, I learned to harness my creativity soulfully through my own inspiration and intuitive gifts. At the time, I thought I was crazy. How is this possible? After practice and leaning into curiosity, I discovered a world I never knew before. Here's another thing. It's an ongoing journey. Self-discovery is healing. It's breaking down the layers. It's putting yourself first. If you're ever feeling lost, turning to your own wisdom first, always. Getting out of your own way can show you what you can create in every single moment, every single day. I learned to put myself out there time and time again to rediscover the special place in my heart that exists to expand. I know that you have this special place for you in your heart too. These big, bold discoveries that I have made for myself over the last 6 months are something I want to share and you to discover for yourself. What I discovered over these last 6 months, which have been hard for many and many, many of us with these unknown, uncertain times. Navigating energy over this time is overwhelming. There's lots coming at us. There's lots to learn. There's lots to see. But we must not forget to go inward. What I learned from myself was that I am worthy of sharing my gifts. They are wild, wacky, and hilarious, and I cannot hold myself back. I want to empower, teach, and mentor creatives to harness the power of their own creative gifts. When I talk about creative gifts, I'm really talking about harnessing your energy and your energetic gifts that you innately have. Who are you here to be? Who are you here to express? What are you here to shift? We get to create our life in every moment because this is the opportunity that we have. Remember, we have a million moments to start again, try again, choose to action towards the wisdom that we hear. I am an advocate for self-healing and maintaining mental health every day. I started out doing this once or twice a week when I learned meditation. It was a habit that I had to build. But through learning Reiki and being able to feel my energy, I was so fascinated by the sensations and the emotions. I felt new emotions, different emotions, emotions I had no words for. But I had a sensibility about it with the energy that I could feel. I want to share with you the reason for this podcast. First and foremost, I really found my voice. Through the sensibility of my energy, I found who I was and who I want to be in terms of my expressiveness and creativity. Years ago, I would not have been caught doing this ever. So you can imagine now how excited I am to be on the mic. I have so much to share with you. I have bottled up it for so long. Recently, I was talking to my husband about the word manifestation. He mentioned that manifestation reminded him of setting goals. And we started discussing the ideas of what manifestation actually is. And when it's in the practice, for me, if I think of manifestation, I think of the way in which I desire things, the way in which I would like to make more money, the way in which I want to acquire a new vehicle, or I just couldn't think of anything else to manifest other than growing this community. But what does that benefit? What is it for? Why do you wish for those things? So think about when you want to manifest, quotations, what is it that you are desiring and why? What feels hard about those things? Don't get stuck on what it is you desire and sit back, put it out there and hope that it'll return to you. You must do the work energetically to allow those things to come. I realized for some time that I was just sitting back because I didn't understand the energetics behind it. But it's not about that anymore for me, desiring things in the world. I've learned now that it's time to surrender. Why am I striving? Why am I pushing? Why am I continuing to strive? I had to stop. What I see now is this idea of surrendering. Yes, put your goals out there. Yes, desire things. But ask yourself the question, what's hard about that? Why am I wishing for that? Turn back inward to yourself for the inner wisdom that will support you to take action one step. One step. What do I need to do now? What do I need to do for me today? If you're feeling overwhelmed or stuck and you get maybe even mad or angry about feeling like you're setting yourself back from what you desire, go with that. Why do you feel stuck today? What do you need to do for you today? For the last 6 months, well, let's say, I don't even know how long, after working more and more with my energy, I was discovering lower emotions that were undesirable, such as anger, snapping at my husband for certain things that I was noticing he was doing. But wait, what was I doing? I was doing the same thing. Potentially getting lazy, procrastinating on projects. But why? Why? I always ask why. I was afraid. I was scared to show up. I was scared to share my gifts. I was scared to let people know that, hey, I've never played the piano professionally before, but I'm using it to create beautiful music to support people through meditation so they can discover their energy. Like, how cool is that? And why would I ever want to hide that? Or why would I ever want to keep that away? Especially for my community. So this is the key, really, is coming back to the moment, going day by day. Yes, like I said, have your desires, have your hopes, and have your dreams. But you've got to come back to the moment. What's going on with my energy right now? In the sanctuary, I have created a foundational program for you to learn and understand the 5 fundamentals of creating with your energy. So you can start to understand these aspects within yourself to start to make these shifts day by day. It takes time and practice, but the Path to Embodiment workshop within the sanctuary will be a great start for you to start tapping into this idea. The workshops that I create are all based on experiencing your energy, experiencing your inner world, so you can start tapping into this wisdom, so you can make those steps each day towards your desires. I want you to know now to start to pay attention to where you are on a daily basis. Write down the things that you're experiencing. One of the other keys within the tools of energy that I teach is becoming the observer of your emotions, becoming the observer of what you're experiencing. To not look to others and blaming them for your experiences. Being aware, I am experiencing this. Reflecting inward and asking why. It's a great signal to notice when we are seeing in others things we don't desire, but how does that relate back to you? This last few minutes, I felt called and the energy came through to share these things with you. I'll often riff on the energy that I'm feeling, especially when I'm thinking about the community and thinking about those who I have not yet met. And I'm so excited to welcome you into this community, welcome you into the sanctuary, welcome you in to start to make big shifts and bold moves in your life with these tools. To check out the workshops, head on over to www.es-snse.com, www.es-snse.com. I am offering $20 off the Sanctuary membership, as well as the workshops individually. So all you have to do is go onto the website, navigate to the Bring Yourself Home podcast. On the bottom of this episode with the show notes, the promo code will be there so that you can navigate to the workshops. The promo code is BYH Podcast 2020. BYH Podcast, all in caps, 20. So enjoy that. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, email me. Contact information is all on the website. So here's the rundown of what you will be receiving while listening to the Bring Yourself Home podcast. Each week will look a little bit different, so you can dive into the topics that most interest you. The first week of each month, I will be channeling intuitive message for the listeners. This will set the theme off for the month. So each month will be a surprise and likely something we all need a lesson on. The second week, I will deep dive into the energetics of the lesson from the previous week. I'll share different practices that you can use to get creative with your energy. The third week, I'm so excited to be adding this to the podcast. I will be interviewing a special guest, either another healer or someone or the Bring Yourself Home podcast community to connect and expand with and learn from. I'm excited to also be interviewing members of the Sanctuary by Essence to share their experience with the self-discovery workshops. Weeks 4 and 5, I will be sharing lifestyle tips, creative business tips, and some of my personal experiences with the workshops and self-healing. This podcast is currently on Spotify. Just search for the BYH podcast to listen. Make sure you just subscribe and leave a review. Next week, I will be sharing my experiences from doing different deep healing meditations, such as sound bathing and practicing self-Reiki. I'll explain the different types of energy healing that I have experienced and now use within my process. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a comment or a review on the website. In the future, I will have set up a place where you can submit questions so that I can support you in learning, especially if you're feeling stuck around certain things. I'm sending so much love out to you in this first episode. So excited to grow this community. Share this episode if it resonated, if you think a friend would enjoy it. Please share. Sending so much love out to you.